Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. And today in this video, I just wanted to do something a little different, something that I haven't done in a long while. So this is going to be an opinion-based discussion style video. And what are we going to be talking about here today? We're going to be talking about some of the changes and or improvements that I would like to see on the newer Pixel devices going forward. Now, let me preface that by saying I haven't watched any leaked videos or I haven't researched any what to expect on the newer Pixels going forward. So this wish list or this improvement video is strictly based on my experiences with the Pixels that I've already experienced. So just to give y'all a brief rundown, I got a chance to own and test out the Pixel 1, the Pixel 1 XL, the Pixel 2 XL. I got a chance to play with the 3 XL, and I actually own the 3A XL. Alright? So those are where this video is coming from in terms of experience. Now, that being said, this video, as with all the content on my channel, is based on my opinion, and I feel as though everyone should be entitled to their own opinion. Okay? So be respectful, please. And let's get into a nice, respectful conversation about what improvements we want to see on the newer Pixels coming out down below in the comments. I'll meet you guys and gals down there. That being said, a little bit of housekeeping here. This whole video is being recorded using the rear-facing primary 12-megapixel camera on the Pixel 3A XL. This video is being recorded with no external microphone hooked up, and it's also being recorded in 1080p at 60 FPS with video stabilization turned off. So please let me know what you think of the overall video quality, as well as what you think of the overall audio quality down below in the comments. As always, all feedback is greatly appreciated. Just keep it respectful, please. Alright, housekeeping done. Let's get into this video now. So what are some improvements that I want to see on the newer Pixel devices moving forward? Well, one of the major improvements I want to see one of the major improvements I would like to see is I want more storage options. Okay? Traditionally, Pixel devices don't have micro SD card expansion, so they pretty much come with either one or two storage options, and what you get is what you get. But moving forward, I would really like to see more storage options coming on newer Pixel devices. As the market for smartphones leans away from micro SD card expansion, you see a lot of manufacturers offering about 3 to 4 tiers for their device at the different price points, and I feel as though Google and their Pixel lineup need to do the same thing. So I would like to see more storage options coming out of the new Pixel devices. So what am I talking about? Let me give y'all a brief rundown of that. So we can say the baseline could be 4 gigs of RAM or 6 gigs of RAM with 128 gigabytes of onboard storage. The middle tier could be 8 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of onboard storage, or 6 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of onboard storage, and the maxed out flagship tier could be 10 to 12 gigs of RAM with 512 gigabytes of onboard storage. Now, y'all might say, why is all that storage, why is all that RAM important? Well, as applications get bigger, as cameras get better, and people start to do more with their smart devices in terms of schooling, business, and just overall general usage, and as companies get rid of things like adaptable, expandable storage in the micro SD card, this is where I feel like you really need to offer those different tiers. Because sure, you can supplement not having a lot of storage with cloud storage, but as an average consumer, I really do find it's cumbersome to have to go out and get additional cloud storage. Like, for example, let's say you're on an iOS device and you get like a baseline device with 64 gigabytes of storage. You wouldn't believe how fast or how easy it is to fill up that baseline of storage, and then Apple automatically enrolls you in cloud storage, which you gotta pay extra money for. Or you have to go out there and enroll yourself in that iCloud storage, and then you got to go ahead and think about it. Well, this much storage is worth this much, that much storage is worth that much. Do I really want to be spending that much for that much storage after I spent so much money on the device? Nah. A lot of average consumers, myself included, that's one of the reasons why I go for the higher storage spec variants, because I don't want to mess with cloud storage. I don't want to mess with having to spend extra money on that. I just want to work with my files on my device, whether it be application files, whether it be video or photo files. I want to work on it directly on the device and do with what I want to do with it directly on the device. So having those other storage options would be a major improvement for the Pixel lineup moving forward. Okay? So that's the number one improvement I would like to see. Now, number two, I want to see bigger batteries on the Pixel lineup of devices. Now, historically speaking, the battery life on the Pixels has not been the best. Like the Pixel 1 XL, it got good battery life. The Pixel 2 XL, it got good battery life. But the 3, the 4, those were some of the most horrible battery life Pixel devices almost ever. Now, the 3 XL and the 4 XL, I did not get the chance to experience, but I've had a lot of friends that have experienced those devices, and they personally tell me the battery life on them was horrible. Okay? And it's weird because I've now gotten the chance to experience the 3A XL and the 3A Pixel devices, and the battery life on them is phenomenal. And that led me to the conclusion that if Google kept these same battery optimizations from the budget battery beast lineup of Pixel devices and just increased the overall battery size, that would take the battery from the budget Pixels from being good to great to being phenomenal. So improvement number two that I want to see from the Pixel lineup of devices is I would like to see bigger batteries on these bad boys. Okay? Alright, so now let's move on here. Okay, let's move on. So the next thing I want to see, I was just turning off my assistant because it popped up because I said the G word too much. So I was just tapping to turn it off. So the next thing I want to see here, improvement number 3, is I would really like to see more stock Pixel devices offered at different price points. Okay? I feel like that would increase the market awareness for Google's Pixel lineup of devices. Could you picture it? If you had a device with really great cameras, with really good stock software, with really good security updates, and a good amount of internal storage, alright, available at a price point of, let's say, between $250 and $450, why would you not pick that up? Especially if you're in the market for a new device and you're not trying to break the bank, and your baseline device is coming with either 128 gigs of storage or 256 gigs of storage, and you're getting 4 or 6 or 8 gigs of RAM for in between that price point, why would you not pick that up? You see what I'm saying? So I would really like to see more, not just storage options, but different Pixels available between those price points. So there should be a Pixel at every price point in between there. So $250, that's your baseline. Let's say $300, that's your mid-tier. So 6, 128, 8, 128, 8, 256. And then your high end could be like $450. So 10 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage. Now, this is not including taxes, okay? The prices are always going to get higher as you include taxes for the different regions. Okay, so this is just baseline pricing that I would like to see Pixels available at. It would increase market awareness for Google's Pixel lineup and get them more customers. Alright? So that's improvement number 3. I think we're on number 3. I'm losing count now. There's no script. This is just all off the top of the dome. So that's number 3. Now, number 4 is I want to see Google implement a better on-device desktop experience. Okay? Similar to what you may see from Galaxy devices with their Samsung DeX or their wireless DeX, I feel like Google needs to have some form of desktop implementation on their Pixels that rival and or exceed the Samsung DeX experience. Now, Google does have a desktop-like environment on their Pixel lineup of devices, but setting it up is kind of cumbersome, and the overall experience is very buggy and not consistent. So really, I think Google's software team needs to implement a more similar version of a desktop DeX experience and wireless DeX experience on their Pixel lineup of devices, just with a stock style to it, right? Because let's be honest, a lot of people have their smart device as their only device. So a lot of average consumers are only using their smart device and maybe a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse and a display, and typically they're casting it to their like Chromecast so they can use it on that display or something like that, or they're just using their device for multimedia purposes, right? And you got people like professionals and students that only use smart devices to get things done. So if Google implements a more easier to use and more refined version of a desktop environment on their smartphone, that could only do better for them and get them more customers, okay? At the end of the day, more customers means better profit. Better profit means happier company. So I would really like to see that better desktop-like environment for the Pixels, okay? So that's number 3 or number 4, one of those. Up next, another thing that I feel like Google needs to implement better on their products, in particular with their Pixel lineup of products, is they need to have better marketing, okay? They really need to be better marketed so they can be more a part of the conversation. I feel as though when you talk about Android, and Android here in the States specifically, there's only really one brand being talked about on a regular basis, and everybody knows who that one brand is. That one brand being Samsung. And then even still, if you expand the smartphone conversation to things not things including and excluding Android, or including Android and above, then we're talking about, when we say Android, you're thinking Samsung. But then other than that, you're thinking Apple and iOS. At no point is anybody thinking Pixels unless they're a developer and they're developing software, or they're an app developer, so they're developing apps, or, you're just a tech enthusiast and you understand and you respect what Google offers in their devices. So if you're a tech enthusiast, you understand that you pick up a Pixel device, you're getting some of the best photography in terms of photos on the market. You understand that if you pick up a Pixel device, you're getting some of the latest and greatest security patches with a stock baseline software experience that you can customize to your heart's content. Okay? And really only tech enthusiasts understand that. But if Google had better marketing, alright, then they would get more average customers that might experience the Pixels and be like, oh, this is actually a great device, and the battery life is pretty good, and the cameras is good, and I got security patches and updates, and I can make the software look however I want it to look, and it has all the features that I'm used to from my Galaxy devices, and the price was great too. And all of that comes from marketing and awareness. So I feel as though if Google sat down, and they really sat down with their marketing team, and they were like, okay, we need to really push ourselves and advertise ourselves to be more competitive and relevant in the smartphone conversation. So we need to be up there with Samsung. We need to be up there with Apple. And so it needs to be the 1, 2, 3 of the smartphone conversation needs to be Samsung, Apple, Pixel, or Google, Apple, Samsung, or Apple, Google, Samsung. It needs to be one of those three. They need to make themselves more relevant in the conversation. And one of the ways you do that is with better marketing. And it's not like Google doesn't have the funds to be better marketed, because over time, Google's marketing has gotten nothing but better as time went on. So it's just that they need to better understand what they're marketing so it gets more awareness. So that's the next improvement I want to see from the newer Pixels. I want better marketing that really advertises what the Pixels are good at. Really advertises what Google is trying to put in consumers' hands. I just don't want you to hire a celebrity and throw up some bullet points and then show somebody in the commercial having a good time. I really want you to sit down and really consider what type of message you're trying to send out to the audience. And I want you to make it come across as genuine. You know how sometimes when you watch a commercial, you could tell that the company is really passionate about what they put in that commercial, and they're really passionate about the product that they're offering. I know we've all experienced a commercial like that. That is great marketing, and that's what I feel Google and their Pixel lineup needs to bring to the table. Alright, so these are all of the improvements I would like to see out of the newer Pixel devices moving forward. And yeah, that pretty much does it for this video. Now, I'm really interested to hear you guys and gals' opinions. So as I said, let's get into a nice, respectful conversation down below in the comments, and I will meet you guys and gals down there. Alright, hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there, and I will catch everyone in the next one. Have a good one, everybody. We are out of here. Peace.